Okay, my name is Owen Walsh and I'm from Southern Ireland, a county called Kilkenny, which will be next door to Waterford. I grew up there and had a great life, a tough little life, but a great life. I grew up as a staunch Catholic, and we would have been very much for the Christian movement and the Catholic movement growing up like in a Republican household back in the day. But as time went by in Ireland, Ireland really began to change, really began to change. As the EU moved into Ireland, they made many changes, but especially over the last 20 years, that once they got a grip on the Irish nation, they absolutely, I would say absolutely destroyed it. From the old nation that I would have known and grown up in, which was a great country, like Hungary here, it was an absolutely proud people and a great nation to grow up in. But since the EU and the leftists and the globalists got their hands on Ireland, they absolutely destroyed it. Absolutely. North, south, east and west, they destroyed the country. They brought in beliefs that didn't exist in Ireland. They brought in people that we knew nothing about. They brought in Islam and people from the different nations and absolutely destroyed the country. It became a very unsafe place, especially for young women and young girls, and it still is, and worse than that today. So in 2021, I decided that Ireland has completely sold out to the EU. We didn't have our own laws, we couldn't have our own thoughts, we couldn't make up our own ideas, our own minds, that everything had to be run through the EU. So no longer were you considered to be an Irish citizen, but you had to be this EU citizen, which didn't sit right with me and with a lot of other people. But I thank God that I had the option to move. I was married to a good Hungarian woman, and I looked at her nation, and I saw her nation, and I saw that they had a very strong leader in Viktor Orban. I looked and studied at his policies. I studied as to what he believed and what he didn't believe, and especially how he felt towards the people of his nation. And that was a very important thing to me. So over a lot of prayer and a lot of thought, I decided I was moving to Hungary. It was one of the most safest places in Europe for a Christian man that wants to hold his identity as being a Christian. And I recognized that in Hungary. That was one of the few places left on the face of the earth, you could say, especially on the western side of the nations, that you could come and be yourself and share your belief. It was a safe country to be. So I moved on those bases, and I moved here 5 years ago. And I don't regret it. I don't regret it. I don't miss it. I see the horror stories of what it's like now back home. I mean, today they did a survey, just there in the last couple of days they did a survey. And Ireland now is more dangerous than El Salvador. And if anyone knows the history of El Salvador, it's not a great place to be. But Ireland is considered worse. I mean, I never would have said in my deepest of thoughts as to the things that could have taken place by allowing Islam into Ireland. You have young girls being raped up to the age of 10 years of age, being pulled off the streets and dragged into these hotels, like hundreds of rooms in hotels full of young Muslim men, and they can do whatever they want to do. The police are terrified to go there. And if the police do go there, they're considered to be racist and they're told to stand down. They can't do anything. You have these young Islamists running into Garda stations, into police stations with knives, attacking guards. That is going on. The amount of rapes, the amount of beatings that have taken place on the young people, and especially the young girls. It was just yesterday in the Irish news, a young girl, she had to run 3 miles down through the village and down to the town to get to her friend's house because a 6'4" man was chasing her, and he wasn't Irish. But these things you will not hear on the Irish news. But these things is every single day, not just short-term stuff, but like you would have lovely walks and lovely places that you could go to in Ireland. Today, if you're a young woman, a couple of girls out for a walk, forget about it. You cannot do that. You will be met up to 20, 30 young Muslim men, and they will demand what they want to demand of you. That's the truth. That is the truth. It's become so unsafe. It's just absolutely destroyed. Not only to destroy it with people coming from other nations, Islam coming from other nations, a party that means nothing to the Irish people, and nor do they care about the Irish people or the Irish beliefs. They've taken down crosses out of churches, they've taken down crosses out of hospitals because it offends them. Everything with this globalists is they're offended, but not about the Irish people being offended. Once we had a police force that was trained up to save the Irish people. Today the police force is trained up to beat down the Irish people. I could show you video after video after video of young, old grandmothers, young men, young women that have never stood or went out to protest against anything in their life. But for the sake of their children, they are out protesting against hundreds and hundreds of men being brought into the IPA centres and hotels and guest houses around the country. They're left to roam the streets and do whatever they wanted to do. And they are being bet down and pepper sprayed. Poor old women being pepper sprayed and bet down and told to get back in out of it. Just suck it up and take it. That is what they want to bring to Hungary. They want to sell your children. They want to sell the innocence of your children. We have transgenders. We have things that we never heard of in our life coming into the libraries and reading out stories about the most profound, what I would call pornography to young children, and the Irish government is allowing it. We would have hoped that maybe a party would have risen in Ireland and stood up for the Irish people, but every single one of them have sold out to the globalists. Every single one of them have put their hand in the pocket and took the money. Like that Peter Mardua fella that's coming here. He's going to do the exact same thing, and the globalists behind him will do the exact same to this country. They will get into your colleges, they will get into your schools, they will blind the minds of the children, they will absolutely corrupt them. The amount of medication that they have young children on now in Ireland is just unbelievable. Puberty blockers, you name it. There's more children going to psychiatrists and on the mental health and mental strain that is absolutely mind-blowing. Don't think that can't happen here, because we all thought the same. We all thought the same. We all hoped that when people did vote the last time in Ireland, there'd be great changes for the country, great changes for the young people. Everyone believed it, everyone heard it, everyone rallied and clapped. Yes, let's get rid of the old party, let's get in the new party. Ha! We were sold to lemon. They absolutely destroyed the country. There's no houses being built. There's no jobs being given. Jobs are being given to everyone from any other country, bar the Irish. Now you have young men and women coming out of school, no jobs, no houses to go to, cannot afford rent, cannot afford to rent a building. You're talking about a one-bedroom apartment inside Dublin that would cost anything up to 1,000 to 2,000 a month. That's just the apartment. Then there's your food, then there's your electricity. It's absolutely hopeless. Hopeless. Absolutely. And worse it's getting. They're changing the laws every single day of the week to suit themselves. They're bringing in climate change and laws and taxes beyond people. It absolutely, country is crippled. And yet they keep on bringing them in bus and bus and bus loads to destroy. The nation is destroyed. It's not going to be destroyed. It is destroyed. The nation is completely split. You have the people on the left and you have the people on the right. You have people on the right that have never protested a day in their life, hard-working young men, women, but now having to come out in the streets and defend and to fight for the rights of their children. It's absolutely chaotic. How it's going to change, I don't know. What's going to happen, I don't know. It just, the same as England, the same as Scotland, the same as Wales, and say they're on the verge of a civil war. That's exactly how it looks in all those countries there. I mean, take it big. I grew up as a Catholic man. We were learned to hate the Protestants. That's what we were learned. Protestants, Catholics. If you know anything about Belfast, you know anything about Ireland, back in the 60s and the 70s, it was a very dangerous place to be. Today, you have Protestant men and women and Catholics marching side by side down with their flag, our flag, marching down the streets together to try and pull the country back from the abyss. But yet their government and our Irish government keeps piling it in. Who would have ever said that you would have Catholics and Protestants walking down to try and save a nation? I speak to the people of Hungary and I say, don't make the same mistake that we have made. Because once this cancer gets in, it's not coming to help you, it's coming to cripple you. Don't do it. Don't make the mistakes that we made. I mean, fair play to Victor Orban. He put himself right out there. A man is a man and a woman is a woman. In Ireland, I think we've something like 72 now transgenders. 72. I mean, God knows what even the 3 of them are. Never mind say what the 72 are. But that's by law. That's what's gone there now. So that's really why I'm here.